Hi there everybody, this is David and my little doggy Kupo. She has not been leaving me alone all day, so I figured that I'd go ahead and do my introduction with her in my arms. She's super sweet and she's definitely worth a sub, as I'm trying my best to get up to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So don't do it for me, do it for Kupo. She's super sweet. And we're going to be going through 15 great games that are coming out this year that I'm definitely going to be buying. It's a jrpg's buyer's guide, essentially, as I'm going to be going over all of them. And I also want to know what games you're going to be buying in the comments too. So let me know as we go over these great games. First up at number 1, Visions of Mana, releasing on August the 29th for the PS5, Xbox, and PC. I love the Mana series, especially the first few games in it. And this here is a return to form, and it's really showcasing that Square is learning that all their little newfangled weirdo stuff is not what we want. I kinda want the basics. We want what worked. And they're learning this with their HD 2D remakes, as well as Stars in the Divine Force, Triangle Strategy, and even their Dragon Quest remakes and The Dark Prince. And this here is a traditional Mana game where you explore massive open regions and use the Mana Spirits to help in combat as well as exploration. With a party full of diverse characters and the cutest little pickle that I've ever seen, this here is probably my game of the summer. Number 2, Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, releasing for the Nintendo Switch on September 26th. I can't do 3D Zeldas. I tried back with Ocarina of Time and I failed miserably. And I've pretty much hated every single 3D Zelda ever since. But I've gotta say, this series is still one of my favorites of all time. I've just kind of resigned myself to the fate of only playing the 2D Zeldas. And this one here looks like an absolute banger. And y'all know that meme? The one that's like, what if Zelda was a girl? Well, this turns that on its head. Well, I guess. Anyway, this takes place in the same world as Link to the Past, and it's of the same graphical style as the recent Link's Awakening remake. And it really seems to be like really puzzle focused, with Zelda echoing pretty much whatever she wants, from tools to solve puzzles, to even monsters to fight for her. Hyrule is her oyster. Number 3, Beloved Rapture, releasing for the PC this summer. This is an SNES-inspired JRPG reminiscent of like Lufia 2 and Chrono Trigger, which I love, so you know it looks just great. Here you play as Johann, and after his 18th birthday, he needs to leave his little small town to head off to the big kingdom. Only his best friend Zack doesn't want him to go, but too bad the shit just hits the fan before he can make his own choice. The dungeons are beautiful and they're full of puzzles, and encounters are on-screen and turn-based. And I actually put out a review of the demo of this like a long time ago, so if you do want some more information, be sure to check that out, because I really do think that we have an indie smash hit on our hands here. Number 4, Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, releasing for the Nintendo Switch on October the 10th. I absolutely adore Level 5, as well as Fantasy Life, and I played the first one extensively back on the 3DS, and now this upcoming sequel looks to expand the gameplay of the original, with new lives to live, and plenty of activities to jump into. I've always loved this series because of the diversity of options. I mean, you can like choose to live your life as a warrior, or a sorcerer, or you can go off as a fisherman, chef, lumberjack, or miner, going about your day doing your chores and carving out your dream, whatever it is that you want to do. This is like a perfect fall RPG to cozy on up to. Number 5, Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven, releasing on the Nintendo Switch on October the 24th. Saga can really be like a hit or a miss series, but I've played Romancing Saga 2, and it was always one of the hits, and this here is remade from the ground up, in kinda like a Trials of Mana way, and even the battle system has been rebuilt, because now it features a timeline-based battle system instead of like that typical turn-based system that it always had, and the storyline so interesting. It follows you as the emperor of your kingdom, and you have to fight to defend against the 7 heroes of yore who are just hell-bent on destroying the world. But this is going to take a lot of time, and you're going to grow old, and you're going to die. And eventually your offspring are going to inherit your powers, and they'll continue to take up the arms against those 7 evil hellspawn. Number 6, Far Magica, releasing on the Nintendo Switch on November the 1st. I've been hearing a ton about this game over the last couple of years, and I've really been looking forward to it. And this is definitely giving me some of those Harvest Stella vibes, because you have to like raise monsters to fight off the Magus' army, but you do this by farming in your fields, which allows your little buddies to come to life. It's like you plant dogs and wolves and stuff, and then you feed them and you train them for battle. And then in battle, you just give them commands to fight off your foes, but you can also merge them together in order to fight like a giant mutant summon to kick ass and take names. Number 7, Mario and Luigi Brothership, releasing on the Nintendo Switch on November the 7th. As far as the Mario RPG series are concerned, I still feel like Super Mario RPG is the cream of the crop. And that's to be followed pretty quickly by the Mario and Luigi series, and then bringing up the rear is that Paper Mario series. But while Paper Mario, the worst one, is still going strong, Mario and Luigi has been kind of dead in the water for 10 years now. But now here it is back with a vengeance, with everything that we know and love, from the turn-based battles to the timed attacks and blocks to your team attacks, as well as your team traversal skills to get you up at the mysterious islands on this seafaring adventure. Number 8, the Dragon Quest trilogy, with 3 releasing for the PS5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC on November the 14th, and 1 and 2 releasing in 2025. Back in the day, when RPGs were few and far between, I really had to play whatever I can get my hands on. But here, this game was the gift that kept on giving. I played this up till I was in college back on the NES. It gave you access to multiple job classes, and a world based upon Earth, along with tons of towns, dungeons, quirky characters, because this entry wraps up the entire Erdrick trilogy and is nothing short of a masterpiece. And it's been released on a ton of different systems now, but this remake here, it's different. It promises that HD 2D style. It's full of full voice acting, treasures on the world map, and a brand new job class. But wait, there's even more, because we're also getting 1 and 2 remastered bundled together next year too. I just cannot wait! Number 9, Metaphor ReFantazio, releasing this fall for the PS5, PS4, Xbox, and PC. This looks so great. It gives me a mixture of Persona, SMT, and Lost Odyssey vibes of all things. Here you play as the Traveling Boy, as he rounds up a party to venture through the fantasy world where its kingdom is on the verge of a civil war due to underlying conspiracies, as well as the death of the king. And thank God Atlas is leaving that Persona 5 cash cow alone for a hot minute and going back to their roots with the high fantasy, anime-style characters, turn-based combat, and social links, and job classes, my favorite. I, for one, miss the days when Atlas put out all sorts of different RPGs, and not just a Persona spin-off every 5 frickin' seconds. Number 10, Ys 10, Nordics, releasing this fall for the PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC. I adore the Ys series, and this is going to take you back to the past, back to play some shitty games that sucked ass. Oh wait, no, never mind, that's something else, because this isn't shitty at all! Here, Adol is shipwrecked on the Ys nation of Normandy, France, and he sets off to explore with the help of Karja, a Norman pirate. And as each game is just another entry into Adol's diary, they don't exactly go into order, and you don't have to have played the previous games to understand what's going on. Chronologically though, as I said, this takes you back into the past, because it takes place after the second game and before the third game, when he's only 17 years old. I cannot wait to join up with him, and especially that sexy Dogi, to go on yet another magical journey. Number 11, Fantasian Dio Dimension, releasing for the PS5, Xbox, PC, and Nintendo Switch this holiday season. Traditional Final Fantasy is back! Well, at least it kind of is, because here we have the series creator and composer back with a vengeance. And while we've had this around for quite a bit of time, it's also been stuck in the Apple Arcade, but now it is moving onto the consoles, so more people can play it. And personally, I've wanted to play this forever! The diorama graphical style is super unique, and I love how you can stack up the enemies to fight them later and then wipe them all out in one sitting. I have heard though that the original game was ridiculously hard, so they have added in a normal mode to make it better this time around, because I guess the base mode was ridiculous. Number 12, Sky Ocean Wings for Hire, releasing in 2024 for the PS5, Switch, and PC. Skies of Arcadia is one of my favorite games of all time, and this is a spiritual successor to it, but it also takes it up a notch with some shooter sections too. And while you are able to explore towns and dungeons and whatnot on foot, once you're out in the open skies, you'll be taking part in turn-based dogfights with your airship as you unite your party of ragtag sky pirates against the Alliance. Not only that, but the visuals are Studio Ghibli inspired, which definitely makes for diverse environments and memorable characters. I can't wait to fly off to some new towns and new cultures and help solve all their little bitty JRPG problems and gain their support against the evil Alliance. Number 13, Decapolice, releasing in 2024 for the PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch. This looks sweet! I love anything by Level 5. They're one of my favorite developers out there, and this looks to be another banger from them. You play as a rookie detective named Harvard, whose job it is to hunt down criminals in a huge open-world crime-ridden city. But there's a bit more to it, because he has the ability to hop back and forth between the physical and virtual realities. And all the clues are there to all the crimes that are committed, so it's up to him to find them, piece them all together, and unravel the riddles of the real world. Number 14, Quartet, releasing in Q4 for the PC. From the makers of Shadows of Adam, this has been greatly inspired by Live Alive, Octopath Traveler, classic Final Fantasy, and even Saga Frontier. Right from the get-go, you have 4 different scenarios to play through, where you get introduced to a total of 8 characters. And once those scenarios are all completed, all your character stories will converge. And then, of course, you're going to be off to save the world. And while you might think that the story takes like a back seat, kind of like the aforementioned Saga or Octopath series, that's not the case, because I had the absolute pleasure of playing the demo earlier in the year, and I really did love it. And finally, number 15, Kingdoms of the Dump, releasing in Q4 for the PC. Y'all know me, I love a good SNES RPG, and this one here is set in a fantasy world full of garbage, and it's actually created by 2 full-time janitors, so, that's some life-imitating art, definitely. Here you play as Dustin Bensley, a trash can knight who travels across the 5.5 kingdoms of the Dump, fighting off fearsome, filthy foes and braving dangerous dungeons, all to take on the disgusting and toxic gremlin army to save the Dump from all-out war. Here we have grid-based, turn-based combat along with timed hits, no random encounters at all, as well as a ton of puzzles, secrets, and platforming, and an expansive Mode 7 world map. So, that's it for all the games that I'm going to be buying for the rest of this year, but there's plenty of other great games out there. Many of them are RPGs that I haven't listed, many of them are other games from other genres too. So now, I want to know from y'all, what games are you buying this year? What are you getting off my list? And what are you getting just that you just want? Let me know in the comments. And also, if you like this video, I think that here's another one that you'll really enjoy with me talking about everything that we know in Dragon Quest III HD 2D. So please do give that one a watch, and as always, have a good day.